Well, here we are at the Sale Greyhounds ahead of the big one, the Sale Cup. It is all happening. The mini-series, the podcast series has travelled down to Sale.
This is 2028.
It's feel like deja vu.
I tell you, these boys are giving me a bit of grief because
Jimmy, we would never.
Hey, James, this is a serious question. Is this the first podcast you've ever done?
Not the first one today, anyway.
No.
All right, boys.
Just give a bit of a backstory. The time is 5 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
We started at 2:15 for this 20-minute segment.
And we're still going strong.
No,
hey, boys. We did have a few little issues with the podcast gear. It wasn't me, it was the gear. So I'll blame the gear.
Always blame the gear, mate.
Hey, boys, I didn't want to put a product out there that wasn't the quality of the Sale Greyhounds. So I don't know why I'm putting this one out there. Hey, boys, Poppy, how are you anyway? Rob Popplestone.
I'm going really well, big man. It's a really exciting week. We've had a couple of months build up to this, really. You know, we're just talking off air, James and I, about, you know, what's involved in putting together the Sale Cup. And as much as it's about the race, you know, a lot of the hard work has been going on for a couple of months. TV campaigns, radio campaigns, social media, organising entertainers, actors, you know, all of those things. And it's just about ready to execute.
I'm just struggling to take you seriously with the shape of that microphone, but we won't worry about that.
Truly. There's so many stories we could make up here.
PDJ, let's just move on, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Jimmy. It's as Poppy said, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
I'm not even sure how to hold it.
Small.
You're doing
I just like this.
Small minds, gentlemen, small minds.
Oh, goodness me.
Huge time of year. I mean, it absolutely massive. The Group 1 TRFM Sale Cup. We just get excited every year. And as Poppy said, we start our first planning session first week of January for next year's Cup.
Yeah, we do.
We might start our first podcast next week. Sorry, mate.
Hey, the history of this great race, boys, phenomenal history. And when you go through it, 2001, it became a staying race. I actually didn't realise, as a bit of a greyhound racing newbie, that the race used to be over the sprint journey. 2001, it changes, becomes a staying race, and then in 2011, it becomes a Group 1 provincial staying race. I love the history, and there's been so many superstars that have won this race over the sprint and of most recent years over the staying journey.
Well, Pete, take us through that journey. Why the change of distance, and how did that come about? And then how do you achieve Group 1 status?
So obviously, change of distance happened in 2001, and the track was redesigned 204. So it was. So the track had a development, and obviously two years ago it's changed from the 650 to the 640 with another track development as well. So that's why it went from originally a 511 up to the 650 and now to the 640. Group 1 status, 211. We got Group 1 status, and that took about 2.5 years process to get approval. To get that Group 1 status, and the committee did a magnificent job in gaining Group 1 status, and we still hold that now, and there's two of us, isn't there, Jimmy?
The Ipswich Cup. The Ipswich Cup now Group 1, and obviously Sale, they're the only two provincial tracks that hold the Group 1 glory. But, boys, I guess this rolls us into our next segment. What does it take to win a Sale Cup? You've been here for 20 years, so you've seen a few of them. I just love the blend. You get those 500-metre dogs that chance the arm and say, I'm going to go 640. Poppy's looking at me funny because this is the third time I've said this as we go to record. You get the stayers, boys, that often drop back as well, don't you, Pete?
You do. Actually, I thought you were talking about him being a stayer there for a second. No, we know that's untrue. Mate, you do. It's a unique distance. It really is. You know, you get the sort of 7:15 Sandown dogs that probably struggle with a 640 here because it's a little bit short. You get the brilliant dogs, the 595 dogs, that extra 35, 40 metres they can struggle with. It's sort of proven over the years that you probably have to be up on the pace a little bit, be quick out of the boxes, miss trouble on that first corner, and hope everything goes right.
Speed dogs normally the key. There is a few of them. Vincent Bale's one that springs to mind in this year. Do you genuinely have to find the leader to find the winner of the Sale Cup, do you think?
I reckon it helps if you're right up on the pace. There's probably... you look at probably Houdini Boy, Destiny Fireball. They're probably the only two dogs that have come from behind that have actually won the Cup. So you get the Star Recalls, the Dinah Nalans, the Neo Claires, Jack Bale, who's obviously record-winning 2 Sale Cups that will obviously never be broken because that distance will never happen again. But and he went for the third as well.
Yeah, so. And what I love, boys, is last year Drill Sergeant.
Yeah,
he's never been more than 595. He comes out and goes bang. bang.
Yeah.
Although it was bang with a break and then bang because of the weather.
Well, that was an interesting one last year. Pete was off with an illness last year, unfortunately, and left me in charge, which didn't sort of work out as well as I would have liked.
What could possibly go wrong?
Is what I thought. And then we had rain like we've never had rain before. And for the first time in the history of the Cup, we had to abandon it, or at least postpone it until New Year's Eve. And we had a great story, though, to tell, and that was Drill Sergeant because,
wasn't it?
it came from nowhere. And it was, again, one of those lesser-known trainers that achieved a Group 1 victory. And, for him, probably a highlight of his life. And certainly it was a highlight for me to be there to witness it.
Wonderful story when you get that happen, isn't it?
So for sure.
Rain up. I think he only had one dog in work at that time.
Yeah.
So, amazing story. So, yeah.
Big race preview. Yes, big race preview time. It is time to take a look at the 4 heats, boys, of the Sale Cup. What a phenomenal night of racing it's going to be on Friday. We'll start off with the box draw for the first heat, TRFM Sale Cup. Heat 1, 640 The Journey, Intrepid Bale 1, Ethanol Volumes drawn 2, Drill Sergeant 3, Raya Star 4, Pass Mark 5, Flying Envy in 6, Succeed 7, Lethal Sniper, box number 8. That's the draw, boys. I've got this funny feeling Ethanol Volumes one that just profiles to run a big race in this series. He's one of those front-running dogs at this distance range, but he's also got good sprint form. Mm-hmm. Does he fit the profile, do you think, Pete, to be hard to beat?
I think he does, Jimmy. I think he's certainly going to be up there in this type of race. Lethal Sniper's another interesting runner. We had everything on it a month ago.
Yeah.
Its trial times here were phenomenal. Its win here was phenomenal. Last week probably a little bit disappointing, a little bit unlucky. Got shunted out wide. It's drawn that pink again, so that may be a problem depending on the inside. But sort of for me, I like Flying Envy. I think it's a classy dog.
Yeah, well, Flying Envy trialled here last week, trialled very, very well. On the back, that came after Lethal Sniper. We were all over Lethal Sniper 6 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, we started to cool, and then a fortnight ago, we said we're off. But that's just the time if I'm off to get on. But Flying Envy, it could be one that sneaks under the radar. But, Ethanol Volume, as you highlighted, James, deserving favourite probably.
Yeah, I think
for the heat. For the heat,
100%. Heat number 2, race number 5, 8:27 Eastern Standard Time will be the jump time for this one. 7,000 to the winner of the heats too. It's good prize money. Shake and Bake number 1, 2 Iron Atlas, 3 Renbale, 4 Groove Bird, 5 Ethanol Water, 6 Aston Monitor, looks a bit outclassed, 7 Finish Jewel, and number 8 Wearus Bale. I just wanted to speak of a few before I give my tip. That was number 2 Iron Atlas. I think this is a greyhound that profiles to lead this particular heat. The other runner is number 4 Groove Bird. I just think this is the pet distance for her because I reckon she runs her race in 4 different patches. She begins quickly, has a mid-race lull, gets going again, and if she goes over 700 metres, she tires at the end. But this type of distance range, I reckon she drops off that last 25%. You've then got a hit with a little mid-race lull, but a nice kick near the winning post.
Where have her best wins been? What distance?
Probably 600, to be honest. Yeah, she's won over 500. She's done well over 700, but I reckon that 600-ish range is. And I don't reckon we've seen her at the 640 anywhere before. So
this could be a real sweet spot.
Yeah, it could be the sweet spot for her. Okay. In saying that, I'm tipping Ethanol Water. Just keeps getting better and better. What more can you say? Won the Group 1, the Bold Trees, the proven stayer of the field. But if Groove Bird goes around at a price, I'm having something on it.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think, boys?
No, for me, I'm just going to follow you on this one because I sort of look at that field and there was nothing that jumped out at me. So, in saying I'm going to Quinella those two. That's what I'll do.
4 and 5.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'll do.
Ethanol Water looks a good thing in that race.
TRFM Sale Cup Heat number 3, Troopeteers in box 1, Harry the Hood 2, Black Silencer 3, Medallia Zoom 4, Cassoni 5, Vincent Bale 6, Whipping at 7, Shadows of Blue box 8. I've got a funny feeling Poppy's going to have this heart story about local greyhounds. He might have had that in the last record.
Or was that the one before?
I've got to say, because there's a sprinkling of local trainers in here, this is the one that sort of I'm really excited by because, you got trainers from Terrelgan and Yanar and Tanamba and Meetung.
All over the place.
I'm hoping we can get two locals through to the final. Yeah, I really do. Yep. Hopefully Harry the Hood can do something that probably He doesn't even believe he can.
Himself, yes.
But these we talk about Drill Sergeant. You know, we opened up in that first heat of the Sale Cup, we're talking about Drill Sergeant, where out of the blue did something no one expected. I'm hoping we have a similar story in Heat 3 this Friday night.
He's going with his head, not his heart, or heart, not his head, sorry, which isn't always a good thing. We're going to have to get out soon, boys, because Bingo's about to roll in.
To get taken over by Bingo.
Yeah, watch out.
That's Jan will throw us out.
Who do you like here? Sale Cup, heat number 3.
Mate, I'm with Vincent Bale.
Are you?
Yeah.
You reckon Vincent Bale can come here without any 650-metre form and win a Sale Cup?
I reckon he can win the heat of a Sale Cup. I'm not sure if he can actually win the Sale Cup, but just it's an outstanding chaser. So,
well, he was on the fringe of the Phoenix. Yeah, a few people were saying he could almost snaffle a slot there. Yeah. So
look, it's good to get that quality, class in, because we're talking to Ken Bailey, one of the owners of Tim Zoo, and we were sort of hopeful that Tim Zoo could sort of headline what would be another top liner. But it didn't unfold the way we would have liked. But that's the way it goes. That's racing, as they say. But look, to that end, as much as trainer may have been disappointed about missing out the Phoenix, in a fortnight's time might have been the best decision.
Well, mate, I'm huge on silver linings. Hence, I reckon this podcast could be the best of our 15 takes that we've done. So you just have to keep on rolling.
Who's to say there's not going to be another one?
Well, the bingo. The bingo says so. Whippingett's an interesting runner, number 7, in this huge ability. Doesn't always put it together. However, I'm going with Black Silencer.
Okay.
I'm pretty keen, to be honest. If you go back, watch the replay last time, jumped from a wide draw, posted wide, didn't really suit, was beaten 7 lengths by Ethanol Water, and I'm almost certain he lost more than 7 lengths in the run. So I reckon that is a pretty good form line to go off. So I'm happy to be with him, and he's always excelled from inside draws. That's race 6, number 3. Race 7, final heat is heat number 4, 7 past 9, jump time.
Sale Cup winners in this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Sale Cup winners in this one, Pete.
One of the biggest names. Number 1, Mapunga Infrared. 2, Irish Millie. 3, Navarino. 4, Port Quinby. 5, Zipping Kai. Let's all say it together. Number 6 is Kangaroo Class. 7, Utrillo Vale Excavator Ticket. Felt like we were back at school there for a minute. I'm with Kangaroo Class because this is a superstar greyhound on the up. He won the Top Gun Stayers. My mate Corey Smith. I don't care that he said to keep this private. I'm going to post it out there, and I'm going to ask you boys, because you're here every day. He was telling me privately this dog absolutely flew in a trial here. Is there any truth to that?
Rumour has it, James. Rumour has it, which is fact. It's gone post to post in 30 dead.
Which is quick?
Which is flying. Absolutely flying. Wow. We've got some of our maintenance staff that have been here a long, long, long time, and they've never seen a dog go that quick post to post.
So everything's set up beautifully. So you couple that with Pete's record of picking winners here, which is
18 out of 20.
18 out of 20. No, I'm not. This is no joke. Like, it's almost unbelievable. 18 out of 20 years, Pete's managed to pick the winner with no more than 2 bets in the Sale Cup. No more than 2 bets.
I'm like smart ass. You sit at the back every dog.
That was on the last podcast record. So, boys, rolling straight into our next segment, which is to find the winner of the Sale Cup. And it sounds like our man PDJ, the head boss of the Sale Greyhound Racing Club, is already all over it. Not a 2-pronged attack this year. It's a one-pronged.
One-pronged attack this year.
Kangaroo Class. And you're super-duper confident by the sounds.
Super-duper confident, I am.
I love that.
I do.
What do you reckon, Pop? You just follow in like a sheep, the sheep that you are down the end?
That's what I do. That's what I do.
He does it well.
Yeah. But let me just say, has to win the heat.
Yeah.
Has
all
to
run
win
second.
All run second, that's very true.
Yeah.
It's all very well for us to have, got on reasonably early.
Yes.
But you want Kangaroo Class in the final. And, stranger things have happened, and we see it probably on a weekly basis.
Well, how good is it this Friday night? It's almost like the prelims to a grand final, but the difference is you do get the backup. There's 4 heats, so the top 2 get through. If you don't run top 2 in the prelim in greyhound racing here at Sale, you don't make the grand final. No, simple as that.
Exactly.
End of story all over, Rover.
I think he'll run top 2 in the heat.
Has to, surely.
Yeah.
Well, we would hope so.
But if he doesn't, there's a story behind it.
And you say he's boxed all right in that.
I think he is. I think he is. I think Zipping Kai, the 5 will jump, go to the rail, give a bit of room to Kangaroo Class. He'll be too good. Best bet of the years in the next race.
Well, what's that?
The support card. I love how you pretend you didn't know. Bless Rain, race 8.
Oh, gee, that's a surprise.
Race 8, number 1. I think it'll be mighty hard to beat. I didn't even care. I didn't care who it was against. Once it drew the red, I just thought this will be winning off the inside.
I don't reckon you even looked at any other dogs.
Have you had a look at what sort of price?
Well, there's nothing out yet. We're too early. But when a price comes out, we jump on.
Okay.
Podcast should be out Thursday morning-ish.
Okay.
Depending on how many edits I have to get through.
Yes.
There's been a few. But yeah, I reckon that's the best bet for the whole meeting. But massive support card. That's just one of them. The Rising Star. There's plenty of...
The Summer Cup also is fantastic. And, you know, I think as much as we celebrate what happens on the track, we celebrate what happens off the track as well, because it really is an event that brings the local community together. And we're talking about thousands of people. And so, you know, we get excited about that as well. You know,
You're always
we really
excited,
do.
aren't you, Poppy?
I'm an excitable sort of guy. You can probably tell the way I'm holding this thing.
Count hams before.
Yeah.
So excited about
Is that true, Poppy, that they do call you the chief Christmas ham counter here? I'm not sure if that was his podcast record or the last one that I mentioned.
I'll tell you a quick story, and there's a true story. Pete gave me a simple task.
Yeah.
One of the easiest tasks he's given me, Rob, buy 101 4 to 5 kilo hams for our ham night. And count them. I mean, it's how hard can that be?
Not hard.
Well, I didn't need to count them because 101's 101. We had them delivered. I'm not sure what happened, but we got 145. 145. So I've got 44 hams at $50 a pop too much.
Excess.
$2,200 worth.
And then you know what's sort of follows on from that, Jimmy, is we're actually, the amount he's given away, we're actually short.
I gave away too many hams.
You got carried away.
We're going to go buy some more before the weekend.
4 short.
Jeez.
Anyhow, that's life.
I tell you what, I don't understand how this man on the far end still has a career in greyhound racing, but he does.
Well, there's rumours going on about that too.
Yeah. We'll leave that for next week's edition. Hey, boys, we want to wish you well in the lead up because this is one of the great, mainly you, Pete, one of the great country cups, the Sale Cup, and the build up's going to be enormous. We'll be catching up on Zoom, I think, early next week to break down the Sale Cup final itself. But good luck in the next 7 days. It's sure to be a big build up and a huge Sale Cup, and we hope. I guess we hope for better weather than what we got last year.
We do. So forecast this stage out, we're 34 degrees and fine. So 7 o'clock at night, that'll be perfect.
Well, there you go. A mankini on the great Rob Popplestone on Sale Cup night is a high possibility, correct?
What could possibly go wrong?
I'm hairier than you think under this, so it wouldn't be.
That's all, punters. Until next time, safe travelling and happy punting. We're signing off now. We've done enough.
Did I tell you about the time?
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.